What is going on, guys, and welcome back to another video. In this one, I am going to be talking about how to go about finding your core values. Now, I'm actually making this video because I was asked this question by a young man in the DMs on Instagram. He hit me up and said, "Brandon, can you please make a video on how do I find my core values and my core beliefs?" And when I heard this, I honestly realized that I talk a lot about my beliefs and I talk a lot about different opinions that I have. You know, I talk about being a virgin. I talk about needing to take pride in your work as a man, about working for the glory of God, about dying to your desires every single day, about fighting against the vices, and about feeding the healthy wants, about being submissive to God, to your Creator. And when I got this question, I kind of took a step back and I thought, I haven't really talked that much about the foundation, about where all of these beliefs come from. And what I realized is that someone that wasn't raised in a Christian home like myself, you know, my dad was a pastor. I even went to a private Christian school. They would probably struggle if they weren't born into an environment like that to understand, why is Brandon doing these things? Like, why does he live like this? Why does he have this zeal to uphold these specific principles, all right? So in this video, what we're doing is we are going back to the roots, and I am going to break down for you exactly why I believe these things, the foundation. And I'm going to walk you through how to find your core values as a young man. All right. So what I need you to understand about your core values is that you need to understand your roots. You need to understand where your values are growing from. And every single great structure in the world needs a firm foundation upon which it is built. All right. The strength, the depth of the foundation determines how large can the tree grow? How large can the building be? If it has a strong foundation, it can go incredibly far. If it has a weak foundation, it will blow over. It will fall. Now, when it comes to my personal beliefs, all right, they are based around God, my God. And this is ultimately where atheists seriously struggle, because they have little to no foundation. You know, atheists will try to gripe and argue and say, oh, that's not true. Like, we have morality because of this reason. Their morality is not based in anything. Their morality is based in their own minds, and it's pure delusion. So if you are like me, and you decide that you do believe that there is a higher power, then let me walk you through this. The first thing you need to understand, and this bleeds into all of the other values that you have, and you really need to understand this. Like, you can't just say it. Like, you have to truly believe that we are all made in the image of God. All right? And it's up to you to learn about who God is. Because the more that you learn who God is, you will also start to get a very deep understanding of who you are as a human made in His image, all right? So what is God? Well, God is omnipotent. He is all-powerful. He is omniscient. He is all-knowing. He is omnipresent, all right? He is everywhere. He is outside of time. He is eternal. He is unchanging. And He is all-loving, perfectly loving. These are what is called incommunicable attributes, all right? We cannot have these attributes. We cannot be like God in this scenario, all right? With these attributes, they apply solely to God. For example, in the Garden of Eden, when Adam and Eve ate the fruit of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, what they were doing is they were reaching for omniscience. They wanted to know everything. They wanted to know something that only God was allowed to know. They reached outside of their bounds, all right? So we can't touch these attributes, all right? But what we can do is we have to understand that these attributes of God, Him being all-powerful, all-loving, outside of time, all-knowing, eternal, and unchanging, these are the foundational attributes, the bedrock that ultimately allow us to understand all of the other attributes of God. Because if the other attributes of God aren't cemented into the bedrock, into the roots, into the base that is God's all-powerful, all-loving, all-knowing nature, then things fall apart. Which is why this is the bedrock. This is the bedrock. This is the firm foundation. All right? Now, out of this come the communicable attributes of God. All right? And these are things that we as humans strive for. We try to replicate God with these attributes. All right? Number one, holiness. We seek to be holy. Number two, love. We seek to love as best as we possibly can. Number three, just. We seek to bring about justice. Number four, we seek to be merciful, full of grace. Number five, faithful. Number six, wise. And number seven, being a ruler, being sovereign. God is ultimately the sovereign ruler, but we are made in His image and we are also called to rule. We were given dominion over the garden. We were given dominion over the earth. It is our job to multiply, to grow. We have dominion over the earth. We were made rulers of the earth. And it is our job to do our best to reflect these attributes of God in our living. All right? Now, what I want you to understand is that the fruits that grow on this tree, that is the attributes, that is your values, all right, that is based around the attributes of God, the fruits that grow on this tree are talked about in the Bible. It's love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. These are the fruits of the Spirit. Now, there are two that I really want to talk more about. Number one is the self-control aspect. Self-control, it's a fruit. So when you cultivate the values, what you start to understand is that self-control is so important. It's so important to die to yourself every single day. It's so important to master your desires and your impulses, to control them. That's why I'm constantly telling people, don't watch porn. Don't eat whatever you want to eat. Don't go out and drink and get drunk. Don't go out and smoke a ton of weed. Maintain your sobriety. Die to your urges, die to your desires and your impulses every single day. So we are called to self-control. I also want to dive a little bit into gentleness. A lot of people think that being gentle means being kind and being weak. It definitely does not. The gentleness refers to humility and strength under control. We are made in God's image. God is incredibly powerful. We as humans, we are incredibly powerful, but it is our job to control that strength, to use it for good. This is not calling us to be weak. I hate this idea of a Christian man who is a pushover, a Christian man who is a wimp, a Christian man who is afraid. He is not courageous. He is scared to go to war. I hate this idea, and I'm going to be combating it further in this video, because what you need to understand is that we, as humans made in the image of God, we are called to be both a gardener and we are called to be a warrior. All right? And what you need to understand is that we are called to prune the tree that I've drawn up here, all right? The tree of your values, the tree of your core principles, you are called to prune it. You are called to be a gardener. You must cut off the branches that don't bear fruit, and you must prune the ones that do bear fruit. This means that you feed the good ones, you feed the good desires, while cutting off the bad ones, the ones that take you away, the ones that make things worse. All right? So we need to both be a gardener, and we are simultaneously called to be a warrior. And what the purpose of the warrior is the warrior must defend the tree from outside attack. So there's two different things going on simultaneously. You have to be nurturing, but you also have to be defending. All right? And what this does is it actually leads into this phrase right here, which is a soldier of the cross. All right? And it's actually a song, and I'm going to talk about it a little bit later. But pretty much what the tree is it represents a cross, which, that's some pretty cool symbolism right there. Your burden to bear is to defend the cross, defend the tree, your values at all costs. Okay? And in order to do this, God has given us the armor of God. It's the belt of truth, it's the breastplate of righteousness, the shoes of the gospel, the shield of faith that we are supposed to use in order to protect ourselves, the helmet of salvation, supposed to protect our mind, supposed to protect our thoughts, the sword of the Spirit. We are supposed to be violent. We are supposed to attack. We are not just supposed to be, we're not just given a shield in order to block the attacks. We are actually supposed to go on the offensive. We are supposed to have a weapon of war with which to attack, inflict wounds upon the enemy. All right? And what prayer does is prayer actually empowers the armor through constant prayer. That's what Paul says when he describes the armor of God. All right? Now, a couple of different practical applications here. If you're wondering, well, how do I know if my values are in the right place? How do I know if I'm living by the right principles? Well, something to keep in mind is that you can always look around and see the people who you have decided to surround yourself with. Because chances are those people are going to be a reflection of your values and your core beliefs that you have chosen to uphold. If you look around and the people around you are losers, the people around you, you're almost disgusted by them, chances are you yourself are probably pretty disgusting. Chances are you need to surround yourself with other people that have different values, and you yourself will have those values reflected in yourself as well. So if you're ever wondering, how do I know if I am walking in step, if I am following along the narrow path? Keep in mind, you can always look at the people around you. Are they bearing fruit? Are they cultivating the tree? Are they pruning the tree? Are they defending it at all costs? Because what you need to understand is that Jesus made the ultimate sacrifice. And so we are also called to sacrifice, to die every single day. Every single day, we are called to die to ourselves, to die to our own desires and to our own urges, all right? Our job is to live by principles, to live by a code. And God knew that we would have to battle every single day to uphold the image of God that is within us. We have to fight for it every single day, and that's why he gave us the armor. It's why he gave us the sword. And some choose to take off their armor and surrender to the world. Don't do this. Hold on to your values, but it's something that you have to fight for. It's in the name, values. Incredibly valuable. You have to hold on to them. You can't just surrender. And it's very, very difficult when I preach about stuff like this, like I'm telling people constantly, like, hey, don't go sleep around. Like, monitor what you eat. Monitor the content that you consume. Don't get sucked in by all of these drugs. And it's hard for me to compete with a world that is just constantly glamorizing vices and gambling and drinking and smoking. And they make it look so sexy. Like, they make it look so appealing. Like, this going out and just doing whatever you want, like that's the key to freedom. It's this manipulative tactic that has been used to make so many young men fall. And so I hope that this imagery of being the gardener, but also being the warrior that is forced to defend the tree, and being a soldier of the cross, I hope that gives you like a zeal. I hope it puts a mental image in your mind that gives you something that feels like it's worth fighting for. Because it is an amazing calling when you get down to it. When you understand that you have to die to yourself every single day, when you understand that you have to sacrifice, and when you understand that it's actually a battle that you are just constantly fighting, what you start to realize is that you want to uphold that honor and that dignity every single day. You want to fight the good fight. You want to become a soldier. And so I hope that those words resonate with you. I hope those words inspire you to like go die for something. Go live for something and be prepared to die for it. I always say, hold on to your values. Hold on to your values even when blood is dripping from your hand. Cling to them at all costs. And I'll end this off with one of my favorite the lyrics from one of my favorite songs. I'll take 3 of the verses here. But Soldier of the Cross is the name of the song. And it says, am I a soldier of the cross, a follower of the Lamb? And shall I fear to own his cause or blush to speak his name? You see, I've sang this song 1,000 times, and it wasn't until like recently did these words really start to resonate with every single activity in my life. It's not until I really started to build this mental image inside of my head of why I'm doing what I'm doing that I was just filled with this massive amount of zeal to continue to fight. And so now these words resonate differently. Am I a soldier of the cross? Am I a follower of the Lamb? Or shall I fear to own his cause or blush to speak his name? Like, people are going to say that you're cringy, that your values are cringy, that your beliefs are cringy. Are you going to blush to speak his name? Are you going to fear to own his cause? Must I be carried through the skies on flowery beds of ease, while others fought to win the prize and sailed through bloody seas? Must I be carried through the skies on flowery beds of ease? It's saying, like, is there true virtue in the easy life? Is there true virtue in not having to fight to uphold these things? Like, no, it's not there. People have fought to win the prize. People have sailed through the bloody seas. We need to see our sacrifice, our daily battles, as us taking on our burden, as us defending the cross, us defending the tree, us defending our values. There is so much pride that should be taken in that. And last verse from it, thy saints in all this glorious war shall conquer though they die. They view the triumph from afar and seize it with their eye. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it helps some of you guys out. I really recommend trying to dive a little bit deeper into this and go read the Old Testament. Like really learn about who God is to further grasp how you are called to operate and how you are called to live your life. Make sure to drop a like down below. Drop a singular thumbs up in the comment section if you watched all the way through to the end of this video. If you did, you've got an attention span of steel, my friend. Props to you. And I will see you guys all in the next video. Peace.